Some of the big stories here from Nigeria. The group CEO of Gtco, the parent company of GT Bank, Sheikh Magbaji, today outlined the contributions of his Pan-African operations into the group. Speaking are the facts behind the new 9 billion share offerings soon to be to debut. Magbaji says Gtco is not interested in matured markets such as South Africa, rather in growth economies such as Ghana. Take a listen.
This is how we look at our business operation, and it's worked very well for us. And a lot of the results you'll see is because we have split the business this way, allows us to dive. If you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is 77% of group profit, and profit last year grew by 162%. West Africa is 17% of group profit and growing very strongly. East Africa, which is part of where we think we need to knuckle down a bit more, is 2.3% of group profit. UK is 1.9% of group profit. And the three businesses we bought are 1%. Most people say 1% is small, but when you live in a guaranteed trust type profitability, 1% is actually a lot of money to have achieved in 1.5 years. So we're very proud of the new businesses. All the balance sheets are strong. We have always tried to maximize shareholder value. In Nigeria, the ROE is about 48%. In West Africa, the ROE is 51%. In East Africa, the ROE is 20%. In UK, the ROE is 35%, which is very unusual for a developed economy. And all the new businesses are all doing very, very well in terms of ROE. So I think we have a business model that has always rewarded the people who have taken a chance on us who are the shareholders. These are some of the figures. The two chairmen know these figures better than I am. I was actually ashamed listening to it, but I'll try and do my own little justice. If I start on the balance sheet, what I look at is I look at loans. Our loans over a 3-year period have grown about 17%. That is deliberate. The last 3 years in Nigeria have been very difficult. If you had gone aggressive on your loan book, my belief is in the next couple of years, you are going to be providing for those loans because there were different macro environments. So we were careful. We instead did fixed income growth, which was about 40%. And we continued to grow our deposits, which was about 35%. All this resulted in about 65% increase in profitability for us. We also grew the core business, which you see when you look at net interest income, which grew by about 43%. In terms of ratios, our capital adequacy ratios are about 23-24%, which is a lot higher than 21%. The other thing I want you to notice is how similar our Tier 1 and total capital is. 98% of our capital is Tier 1. We do not go out and take capital that people do not understand. The summary of the offer. Well, I've heard different things. People have told me we were going to raise $750 million, I laughed. They said we were going to raise 500 billion naira, I laughed. What we are going to raise, we're going to issue about 9 billion shares, which means we're only going to raise about 400 billion. I think the exchange has been kind enough to approve us at 44.5. We really think we've given a deep discount. For a bank that's trading at 1x book, we think this is a great price. We also don't like to cheat people. Anything you do, you must leave some money on the table, but let's not leave enough money where we hurt our own selves. We're going to try and finish this offer by the first week in August. We have these great issuing houses, Stanbic, Absa, FCMB, Vertiva. They've put up with all our madness, so I'd like to thank them a lot. I think I've spent time telling you what the use of proceeds are, but we'll break it down for you a bit more. But what I said to you will give you even more color. Branch expansion is about 138 billion, but not branch expansion in Nigeria alone. I think you're going to see us branch out very aggressively in Nigeria, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Kenya. Then in terms of technology, I told you we're changing our software. We're changing our hardware. That will be about 98 billion. And working capital for all these great industries will be about 133 billion, which will give the bank about 370, and the rest will put in our war chest for the PFA acquisition. Expansion. South Africa. So South Africa is a mature market. All the South African companies that are making money are making them from Nigeria. So I'm not going to go to South Africa to look to make money when they are coming here to make money. So I really am not interested in South Africa. I operate within what I consider growth economies, growing, not mature. I'm not going into any mature economy with all due respect. Ghana risk, yes, Ghana has risk. But Ghana is also an extremely profitable market. And if I showed you the contribution from West Africa to group, it was 17%. Most of that is actually Ghana. So while we are very quick to throw stones at Ghana, Ghana has a lot of potential. Yes, it hasn't been perfect. We all had to provide for some of the government debt. But, that's the danger with operating in emerging economies. You learn how to maneuver them. You learn how to make the risk. Maybe you make money for 10 years. You throw a little bit of money 1 year. You make money for the next 10 years. If not, you cannot operate in emerging markets. So I still like Ghana.